Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.
Hey, it's me, the Quenchies. I'm that late afternoon craving you just can't shake. Wait, what's that? Welch's Grape Aid? No! Made with real fruit and no added sugar, nothing answers the call of the Quenchies like Grape Aid. Got the Quenchies? Grab a Grape Aid in your juice aisle.
You think you can fight me? I'm not a demon, little girl. I am something that you can't even conceive. The first evil. Beyond sin, beyond death. I am the thing the darkness fears. You'll never see me, but I am everywhere. Every being, every thought, every drop of hate.
All right, I get it. You're evil. Do we have to chat about it all day?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time and giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 3, Episode 10, Amends, written and directed by Joss Whedon. The original air date is December 15th, 1998, to an audience of 6.85 million viewers. But before we get into that, we have to address some things that went on in our last episode when we talked about The Wish. We both have some victories. We both have some crow to eat.
Yes, and I will start.
I am $5 richer.
and morally poor. Yeah, I definitely was wrong about Giles and the jacket. He absolutely wears a jacket every time he's outside. Yeah, I don't know. I was just locked in on those eyes and that scruff, and just saw that sweater.
Sweet 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, I was fighting an entire army of people that disagreed with me about this wish thing. So
yes.
I'm in the vast minority.
It was a consensus that your take on the wish not being valid because Buffy showed up was not right, because it's past tense. That was my argument.
Yeah, no. I get it. I was going to keep fighting, though. I was fighting that good fight.
I don't know if the fight was any good.
My fight transformed from, like, she should have never been allowed to, like, well, future Cordelia semantically could say the only reason that she's allowed in is because she died. Yeah, I get it. People weren't on board with anything I was saying.
No. You started... if you haven't been to the Discord, you should go just to follow that. Joe came in with dictionary... screen captures.
I gave dictionary definitions. I gave them
of the wrong thing, of stuff that wasn't fully winning his argument. It's worth joining the Discord just for.
Well, I just hated that the argument against me was like, come on, you know what the demon knew what she meant. Like, so many people said that, and I was like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, but you also forgot that you had the quote misquote.
I had the quote wrong.
So you were arguing that people. And then you're like, oh well, anyway.
Well, anyway, still future Cordelia argument. If you want all the details about the future Cordelia argument, slide to my DM.
Yeah, you're going to start a weird little cult, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. The future Cordelia cult.
Even though I haven't found one person that agreed with you yet.
I had one person, I forget who it was, kind of be like, okay, I can see where you're coming from with that.
That person just was like, I'll give you a breadcrumb.
Somebody was like, you're taking it on the shins here, buddy. Just I'll concede that maybe one here. I'll give you a 1. And I was like, yes. Now the rest of you.
And I was completely wrong about the callback line that I'd set up.
Oh, you love all the parts.
You love all the parts. He was like, what was it?
You said that it was you have all the parts.
Yeah, and he said you love all the parts.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if you love all the parts.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's like, this is my favorite part, and he's like, you love all the parts.
Well, you love all the parts. Like she likes the chase, she likes the feeding, she likes the boning after. She loves all of it.
Yeah.
That's where.
Yeah, I thought they were going a little more where this episode almost went.
We need to get into heated arguments more often, Vance.
I'm okay with not.
Yeah, if they happen organically, you know.
We're not ESPN. We're not First Take. We're not trying to.
No. I'm Skip. I'm definitely Skip.
I don't want to be Stephen Bayless.
Oh, you're Shannon.
Oh, you're talking about a whole different show. He left,
Undisputed? Uninterrupted or whatever?
Instead of having those two people on one show, they decided to split it so we can have two awful shows.
I know. It's for all you sports fans out there.
Yeah, for all three of you.
Yeah. Also, again, Comedy Chateau, July 29th at 7:30. Promo code Joe W, all caps, no spaces for free tickets. And then the Booty Burlesque show in Palmdale. I need to fucking, I don't know where it is.
That is a beautiful transition into plugging.
Yeah.
Just smooth segue.
Just follow me on Instagram at Joe Welke. You'll see all the stuff. Yeah. You got anything?
No. Let's get into this episode.
Alrighty. So this episode opens up with a recap of basically everything that's happened to Angel up until this point. We see a recap of him boning with Buffy. We see him turning evil. We see him getting killed. We see him coming back to life. And
killing his calendar.
I know, we kill him his calendar. Who could forget that pivotal moment in this series? But the episode actually starts with a flashback to Dublin in the 1890s. And we get a guy named Daniel just walking through the streets looking very disturbed. He's looking over his shoulder. He's trying to get away from something. And he's like, oh no, something's chasing me. And Angel in his Gaston outfit, in his Gaston gear, with his big poofy ponytail and his frilly collar, chases him into an alleyway. And he's like, hey, I'm going to kill you. And Daniel's like, no, please don't. I have a family. And Angel's like, the only people that I don't kill are people that have money or something else for me. And you don't have either of them. So I'm going to kill you. And Daniel's like, no, please don't. And Angel kills him.
This, I really liked Angel's teeth in this. I thought his vampire teeth looked cool. And boy, that accent is a mess. That Irish accent is...
Yeah.
He sounds like he's pretending to be a leprechaun.
I mean, first of all, when did he lose the accent? Because like in basically all of these flashbacks, he's got an accent. It's only 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah, he would still have an accent. And he spent most of his time in Europe anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the show and accents, man.
I know, the accents in this show they gotta go. Maybe this is like a joke that Joss Whedon is like playing on people. Yeah. He's like, no, this time you're Irish. He's like, fuck. Yeah.
And make it sound Protestant.
David Boreanaz like, God, I thought I was just gonna be this cool vampire guy.
Yeah.
No, hi, 'tis hi. I'm going to kill you now with my shillelagh.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, Daniel doesn't even sound like that.
I know, dude. Daniel's sideburns are so bad too. Like they could look cool, but they're obviously fake, and you can see it like the glue peeling off of it. It's so rough, dude. Uh-huh. But of course, this is a dream that Angel's having. He wakes up, and in his dream, it's around Christmas time when he wakes up. He's all panicked and he's like, I gotta go for a walk through the city. Mm-hmm. So he's walking through the city and it's Christmas time. There's a bunch of Christmas stuff and he bumps into Buffy, who is rocking the most 90s short bangs that anyone's ever seen. And I gotta say, I don't mind these bangs.
At one point I wrote, is Buffy wearing a wig when she's talking to Giles later? But it's not. It just looked weird in that shot.
It looks like, it seems like she got a haircut between scenes, because there's some scenes where like she doesn't have the bangs. Yeah. And like this scene and a couple other scenes, she does have the bangs. I don't know anything about women's hair and if you can like hide that, but it looks like she has a completely different hairdo in some scenes.
Yeah, I didn't like lock in on her hair from the first scene, but it was when she goes to Giles later. It was like, what is that? What's happening?
Yeah. So she and Angel are kind of like catching up and be like, it's Christmas time. You doing any Christmas shopping? And I guess Christmas isn't the biggest time for vampires, huh? And Angel's like, no, not really.
Oh, I'm also like, Angel, how do you get money? Are you independently wealthy?
Dude, I have so many questions about money later on in this episode. But they're talking. It's awkward because, you know, Buffy broke up with him. And then he sees a flash, like a vision of Daniel, the guy that he killed in his dream and in his history, behind Buffy, and he's like, oh God, I'm being haunted by the ghosts of Christmas past.
Yeah, it was like 100% a Christmas Carol take.
Yeah. This episode is such a bizarre Christmas episode, to be honest with you.
I thought they were going to go further with like the 3 ghosts of Christmas past, future, and whatever. But they don't push it all the way, but it's there.
I mean, this episode's so weird to me, and it doesn't advance much of anything, I feel.
At the end. We'll get into it.
All right, so Buffy's at school the next day, and she's telling the gang about her run-in with Angel, and be like, yeah, I just ran into him. He looked so weird, and he was disturbed, and blah, blah, blah. And Xander decides to bring up once again how Angel tortured Giles and killed Miss Calendar. And Buffy like closes her locker and is like, hey, Xander, enough. Okay, we've heard it a million.
The thing I got from that scene is that it's a busy hallway and he's speaking full volume about Giles being tortured and the teacher being killed by someone. Like, everyone could hear this.
The thing that I got out of it was just how nonchalantly Buffy was just like, Xander, enough already. We get it. Yeah, he killed Jenny. Yeah, he tortured Giles. We're past that.
Apparently,
everyone's past it by the end.
Buffy's like, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about, Xander. I'm talking about how sad he looked and weirded out. But they're talking about what they're doing for Christmas, and Buffy's like, yeah, I'm just going to have a quiet Christmas with my mom. Willow, what are you doing for Christmas? She's like, well, don't forget I'm Jewish. Like, this whole scene is just her like screaming from a mountaintop that she's Jewish. She's got a Star of David necklace on.
Yeah, it's like she's more Jewish than she's ever been in the whole show.
I know. She mentions that she's Jewish like 5 or 6 times, it seems like. And then we get a little backstory and insight into Xander's life, which I knew nothing about because they never talk about his parents or anything at all in this show. But they go and they sit across from Cordelia. Why would you do that to Cordelia? You know that she doesn't want to be around you.
There was only chairs you could sit in.
Yeah, so there's like 2 couches that are facing each other. Cordelia's on the one. Oh, siren's going by. Cordelia's on the one couch. And Xander, Willow, and Buffy decide to sit on the one like 3 feet away from where Cordelia is sitting. And they're like, so Xander, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to go camping in the woods. You know, I like to be one with nature during Christmas because it's a special time. And then Cordelia stands up. She's like, oh, I thought that you only go out into the woods to avoid your drunken family fights. And Xander's like, that's something I wish that you wouldn't have said. And I told you that in confidence. And Cordelia's like, oh, well, everybody knows now. See, I'm going to be in Aspen with the snow. And aren't you all jealous because I'm going to be in the snow? Aren't you all jealous that I'm going to be in a lot of snow and there's going to be no snow here because Sunnydale is experiencing record heat, as we heard on a weather report a couple minutes earlier?
It's interesting because I think me and you both didn't grow up out here in California. Yeah. So we had normal winters where it's like, oh, there's snow.
We've had some white Christmases.
Yeah. and it's wintertime, has snow. But it's really interesting to like live out here or live in a place that gets no snow, and all the TV, all media is Christmas and snow.
It doesn't feel like Christmas to me. That's why I feel like Christmas sneaks up on me out here a lot more than it did when I lived in Baltimore or New York or DC. Or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, New York, it's like, oh, everything changes. You're outside. You're like, oh, everything has lights on it.
You're forced to be outside.
If you go to Union Square, you're like, oh, it's Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I remember my first Thanksgiving here. I went to my friend's house for a party and we were all in the pool. It was like 85 degrees. I was like, this is incredible. Yeah.
And I will say it does get chilly. It does get chilly at night in California, especially in the winter. So you can put on a fireplace. Yeah, no, it gets down to like the 40s. Yeah, it can get cold. It's not like ridiculous, but it's a desert.
But Sunnydale is experiencing record heat. You wouldn't know it based on what everyone's wearing.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Buffy
like
had a
Willow's
coat on. Yeah, had a coat on in that first scene.
Willow has a sweater on. Xander has 2 shirts on. Like, if it's supposed to be like this record 90s heat, what are you doing? But anyway. So they're talking. Cordelia walks away. She's going to Aspen where it's going to be snowing. And Willow keeps talking about how she's being Jewish again. And then Oz shows up. And he's standing awkwardly and just looking, and he's like, hey. And Willow's like, hey, you want to go talk? And they go into a classroom that's just empty, and they're sitting on the teacher's desk, and they're just like, hey. They're trying to work things out, because Oz is like, look, it really hurt my feelings how you and Xander were making out, and you guys have something that I won't have with you. Like, you have this long history. And I won't ever come close to that. But you know what? I'd like to try to work things out. And Will's like, wee. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. I'm willing to forgive it. But yeah, let's give it another go. And Willow is like, is this the part where we hug? Can we hug? And I was like, you know what? I think I'm down for that. Yeah. And then they hug, and it's cute.
Yeah. Good scene. Yeah, it was like, I was like, do I want to still be a part of this show? Yes. How can I be a part of this show?
Is this paycheck pretty sweet for the minimal screen time? Yes.
He saw what happened to Scott Hope, and he was like, not me.
Yep. Nope. Not until I get that third Austin Powers money, baby.
Yeah.
So then we have a scene of Buffy and her mom doing some tree shopping. Buffy's mom is like, you know what? We're having Christmas Eve dinner. You should invite Faith. Faith doesn't know anybody out here. You should invite her over for Christmas Eve dinner. And Buffy's like, I don't really know if Faith and I are cool. We're not cool like that anymore. She's not talking to me. She's mad at me. And Buffy's mom is like, well, Christmas is the time for forgiveness, and maybe Faith would be down to like forgive you and come on over. And Buffy's like, okay. Well, you know who else doesn't have anybody around the holidays? Is Giles. We should invite Giles. And Buffy's mom's like, fuck no. No. That guy is not allowed in our house.
He wouldn't want to be there. He wouldn't want to be with the all-girls Christmas. Nope.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
No. Giles doesn't. Fuck no.
Nope.
Fuck that. It's like, we know what you two did.
We know what you did.
We know what you did on top of that cop car.
Yeah, Buffy somehow doesn't know, but...
Giles.
And they're spraying like fake snow on a bunch of the trees, like to a dangerous level.
Yeah, the trees are just straight up white. It looks like,
and it's all from a spray paint. It's all from a cane. It's just awful. And they see some trees that are all dead, right?
Yeah. Buffy walks over, and
the guy tries to sell them to her.
Well, it's also weird because they play like the dramatic music of like the tense violins, and Buffy sees all the dead trees. And then the guy that's like the proprietor of the tree farm, he walks up behind Buffy and is like, yeah, a bunch of them died. I could give you a good price for them, though.
I was like, why would I want these?
Yeah. And then Buffy just walks away because her mom's like, I found a good one.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of that scene.
Yeah. Mom tries to go trip her in the face. I was going to save this for later, but I don't understand the feud between Faith and Buffy at all.
Mm-hmm.
Faith got fooled by a fake watcher.
Yep.
They got in a fist fight. And
Faith was mad because Buffy didn't tell her about Angel. And she was having secret meetings with her friends.
But the secret meetings with her friends was all like perpetuated by
Gwendolyn Post,
who called her a straight up idiot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I feel like
so
at this
forced.
point,
It should be
this point, yeah, Faith should be like, man, I got duped.
Yeah.
Sorry for being a dick.
And Buffy's like, sorry I didn't tell you about Angel more. But everybody didn't know about Angel.
That's the thing, yeah.
And they all like are still friends with Buffy again.
Who knows?
But somehow Faith is taking it on the chin.
Oh, Faith is weird.
Also, at the end of this episode, Faith doesn't seem to care about Angel, which is the whole thing. She's like, "Oh, okay, sure, go do your thing." I was like, "I thought you were against Angel being alive."
Yeah,
I thought it was a whole feud.
Well, that was also a whole Gwendolyn Post type deal too. But remember, she was into the idea of Angel because she was like, "You boinked the dead." Like,
I think she was more curious about it.
Yeah,
but then also she was like, "Wait, she loves killing vampires." And like, there's a vampire that's the worst vampire that's back, and why not kill it? But yeah, I think this feud is so forced. They should just be back together.
So once Buffy walks away from the dead trees, we see a vision of a spell being cast. It's very, very choppy editing, so you can't really see who's happening. But there's a one shot of a guy with like these creepy no eyes, got like X's over his eyes, and then some kind of like old hieroglyphic looking thing on his other eye. And it's from Angel's dream again. He wakes up and he's all disturbed again.
Did you think it's funny that Angel just sleeps in a bed?
Yeah.
he sleeps in like a small bed with like one sheet.
Yeah.
Leg out.
It's record heat.
Vampires just sleep in a normal bed. Yeah, that's it.
Dude, I always find it funny because I know so many people out here in LA, and if you don't live in LA, you might not know this, but there's so many people out here that identify themselves as like witches, and they're like, I'm a witch. I have all these crystals and stuff, but then they like drive Nissan Rogues. That always cracks me up. I'm like, you're like this mythical fucking, oh, I'm going to cast a spell. Oh, my electricity bill.
I don't hang out with the witch circle that you travel in.
Oh my God, dude. You have no idea. You have no idea the amount of people. But yeah, well, I mean, it's also like that one episode when the vampires had the camcorders. Like, that cracked me up.
Yeah.
Like,
they're like 90s dads at like a park,
at like a soccer game. Yeah. Like, just vampires supposed to be these mythical, mysterious things, just, you know, having some toast. You know?
Yeah.
It's so funny. So we get a scene of Faith at her shitty old motel, and she's slapping the TV because it's not working, and she's really beating the shit out of this TV, dude. Like, I'm worried for the TV's health. It's still not working, but Buffy shows up. Also, I have a question. Who's paying for this motel?
I think she pays for it, but I don't know how she has the money. It's very cheap.
Who has the money for this? Because Joyce's mom, or Buffy's mom, Joyce, says like, well, Faith is going to be holed up in that cheap motel, that dingy hotel. We should invite her over for Christmas. And I was like, how is she paying for this? Because I remember last time the guy said it was $18 a night.
No, it would be weird if she was living with Giles.
Yes.
But at the same time, Giles could be like, oh, this is my cousin from wherever.
Yeah, I mean,
like, he has a house.
I just want to know
and she's
more.
A slayer. Wouldn't you want to live with a slayer?
Absolutely, I would. They're like a watchdog.
Yeah.
But against vampires.
Yeah.
When Buffy shows up, she invites Faith to Christmas, and Faith's like, no, I'm going to some party. I got invited to a party, kid.
They double down on the party to make sure we know that it's not a real party.
Yeah, and Buffy's like, well, in case, you know, you're not doing anything after the party, you know, you're still invited. And Faith's like, no, but for real, kid, I'm going to this party in Harvard, yeah.
Oh, she's like, oh, that party that happens on Christmas Eve in Sunnydale. Yeah.
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 And so Buffy is like, okay, walks out. And then we get a scene, and I love this scene so much. Giles is at home and he's cooking. And you hear a knock at his door. And you assume it's going to be Buffy inviting Giles to Christmas. Because that's exactly what happened in the last scene.
I thought for a moment it was going to be Joyce at the door.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it is neither of those options.
Mm-hmm.
Who's at the door? But our boy Angel. And Giles opens the door and he is immediately pissed. And Angel's like, I'm sorry to bother you. And Giles goes, you know, coming from you, that strikes me quite funny. And then Angel goes, I need your help. And then Giles goes, and the funny keeps on coming. And Angel basically explains, like, I've been having these dreams and they're of my past and I don't know who else to turn to except for you. And I need your help. And I feel like you are the only person that I could know that has the answers to how to help me. And Giles is like, okay, I'll help you. And then he walks away and Angel's standing at the door and he goes, you know, I can't come in unless you invite me. Pause in the story. How did he get in when he killed Jenny Calendar?
Yeah, we don't know. We never.
How did he get in?
Maybe he had a chance to get in then, and since then Giles has done that spell to reverse it because he needed it to get into. He couldn't get into Buffy's house either.
No. Well, yeah, I guess it's Giles maybe did that spell where he wasn't allowed in
because he couldn't get into Buffy's house.
Yeah, because Buffy did do that spell, and so then Giles walks away. He's like, I can't come in unless you invite me. Giles returns with a crossbow, pointing it directly at Angel, and he goes, I know that. And I was like, this is cool as hell.
I still don't think I would have invited him in.
I thought that they were going to do the whole thing through the doorway.
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
Yeah. But instead, Giles is like, come on in. Mm-hmm. And Angel comes in, and he's on edge now because he's got a crossbow pointed at him. And Giles has a crossbow pointed at him for very valid reasons.
I mean, Giles could just shoot him and be like, I haven't seen Angel at all. Buffy could just be worried about where he is for the rest of her life.
Yup. But, so Angel's telling him all about the dreams of his past, and he doesn't know why he's back. He doesn't know how he got back from the demon dimension. He doesn't know why he got back from the demon dimension. He doesn't know why he's having these dreams. And while he's explaining all this to Giles, he sees the apparition of Jenny Calendar behind Giles. And then Angel's like, oh. And Giles is like, what? And he's like, don't you see her? Giles turns around and is like, see who? And Angel's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And just runs out.
Yeah, I'm happy Angel didn't say Jenny Calendar because I think Giles would have just like shot them.
Giles would have shot him right then and there. He would have fucking ended Angel's dreams for sure.
Well, there's a whole section where Angel's like, I don't know why I was brought back. I don't know why they brought me back. I don't know why I'm here. I should be in hell. And Giles is like, sure, you should be. And he's like, I just need to know why. And Giles is like, will this bring you peace? And peace of mind? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I don't know. Last time you got peace of mind, things didn't work out so well. So I'm kind of inclined to let you stay like this. And I was like, yeah, dude, like the rule was anything that makes him happy.
And they did mention that give Angel a happy thing in the recap.
They try to be like, if he experiences pure joy, then he'll turn back. Mm-hmm. But the show really makes it that pure joy is only sex with Buffy.
It's just boning.
Yeah.
It's boning, dude.
Because, I mean, he was boning Darla for sure when he was a vampire.
True. So Angel runs out and he goes back to his mansion and he's dreaming in his mansion again of an old-timey Christmas party. And he's in his Gaston getup once again. And he's harassing this maid woman. Housekeeper.
Chambermaid.
Yeah. And he's like, come on, don't you want to go off and maybe smooch a little? And she's like, no, I can't. I have a son. What will the mistress think of me? He's like, oh, the mistress doesn't give a fuck about you. She's like, no, but won't people hear us? And he's like, well, just be quiet. She's like, I don't think I could do this. And then he gets all vampire face and he's like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to eat you. Feeds on this lady, and while he's feeding on this lady, he looks up and he sees Buffy the Vampire Slayer in his dream. And then they both wake up at the same time. Because Buffy, all of a sudden, is now dreaming the same dreams as Angel. She has inserted herself into Angel's dreams.
Yes. I thought that was a really cool, weird reveal that works because of the weird dream stuff that has been established in the show.
Yeah. Buffy has weird premonitions in her dreams.
Yeah.
And this kind of ties it together with Angel, I guess.
So, yeah, I don't know why. Like, they're under the staircase, right? And it seems weird that he didn't go somewhere else. He just kills her in the open.
Yeah, it's not a private under the staircase. It's not like Harry Potter, there's a door. They're out in the open.
And they really play this up like he's a nobleman using his stature to sexually harass the help. Yeah. It's very creepy. And I also thought, whoa, I want to see how he got into this noble level. This is a really fancy party he's at. It's not like a random bar.
Here's what I think happened. All right, Joe theory time. He probably just killed a nobleman that had the same size clothes as him, put on that guy's clothes, and just was walking around lying, saying that he was a nobleman. And he's charming enough to get away with it, and people will believe him. He's like, I'm a nobleman from out of town. I'm just here visiting my cousin. Nice party. Can I come in?
No, but it seemed like he knew the people at the party, by name too. It wasn't like he just crashed a party. He knew the people. Yeah. It seems like he's entwined with the upper crust. And people seem to think, I think people back then knew vampires existed. Because when he turns into a vampire with the guy at the beginning, Daniel's like, please, I don't want to, he's not like, oh my God, what was that? Your face. Even the housekeeper goes, but I have a kid.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, your kid will be delicious too. She doesn't
that'll be a good dessert.
Yeah, she doesn't scream what the fuck is this? She's just like, oh, please, vampire guys, don't do this. They don't panic like you would if you saw a vampire for the first time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Vance, good point time.
All right.
We're back in it. We're doing a good podcast, everybody.
But no, I did love the dream reveal where Buffy wakes up and she's in his dream.
Yeah.
I do question why she thinks it wasn't just a normal dream.
Yeah, she immediately leaps to I was in Angel's dreams. I can see what's going on in Angel's dreams.
I saw stuff about him that I wouldn't possibly know. And it's have
you
ever been in a
shit
dream?
In my dreams? Yeah, I see shit in my dreams that never will ever happen.
If you dream about somebody and they're doing something, you don't immediately go, oh, that must have been their past history that I saw.
Yeah, unless you have just seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Did you see that yet?
I did see that. And I will recommend Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Way better multiverse stuff in that.
That's what I've heard from every single person.
Yeah, it's great.
But so Angel wakes up and he's all in a panic. And he sees Jenny Calendar at the mansion and she's taunting him. And he's haunted by the memories of killing her and all of these other people. Daniel and this the maid. Mm-hmm. And they keep haunting him. And he's like, I'm so sorry. What do you want me to do? How do I get rid of you? And they're like, oh, you know what you need to do. There's only one way to get rid of us or whatever. And so then we go to Buffy talking to Giles about the shared dream that she had with Angel. And Giles is not having it at first. He's like, I don't care. I don't want to hear about this fucking Angel guy. He tortured me. He killed my girlfriend. And Buffy's like, no, but we really need to help him. And Giles is like, I know. I've already been researching how to help this fucking schmuck.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, I'm not with him. I just know that now that our dreams are entwined, that our spirits are one. No.
Yeah, some bullshit.
Buffy loves to be like, I won't get back with him. I just love him with all my heart and always will. But nothing is happening.
So Giles is like, all right, I'll help you. I'll do some research here. Start with this book. And then Xander shows up and he's like, you know what? How can I help? I know I've been tough on you with this whole Angel thing, but Let's let bygones be bygones. Let's let murders be murders. Let's let tortures be tortures. It's all water under the bridge. How can I help? And then Giles gives him a book. And then they start to walk away. And Willow shows up. And she's like, how can I help? And then it's all like, all the gang's back together. They all forgiven Angel. They've all forgiven each other. It's all going to be like old times researching in the library. And it's so cute. And Willow has plans with Oz on Christmas Eve. And she's feeling awkward. She's like, I just don't want it to be weird. And Buffy's like, it won't be weird. You guys like each other. Blah, 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 blah. And
Willow's parents are out of town once again.
Yep.
On Christmas Eve.
Yep.
They did not take their daughter to Aspen with them.
They did not.
They also get pizza delivered during this montage, which is
before the montage, there is a scene of Angel getting haunted again by the victims, and they're telling him like he's a cruel person and he used to take pleasure in killing people, and he's like, oh, I'm blaming you. That wasn't me. That was the demon that took my soul. And they're like, you weren't fucking anybody before that demon. You were a piece of shit back then, too. You were a quote, drunken, whoring layabout. And Jenny Calendar says it's his destiny to be cruel and to kill Buffy or whatever.
And my thought is being a drunken, whoring layabout is not equivalent to being a brutal child murderer.
Yeah. Serial killer.
Murder. Yeah. Exactly. They were like, you were nothing. Look at you.
Yeah.
You were drunk and you fell off a bar stool. You were on your way to killing thousands of people.
Oh, made your parents proud, eh?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. That's a leap.
Yeah. If that's true, I know plenty of guys that are about to become serial children murderers.
Yeah.
ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises, too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with the new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there?
Taking bribes.
Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
In this ad for the Mobile One brand, I have 30 seconds to talk about driving, which might be what you're doing right now. Maybe you're in the car, you're free, you're in control, on an open road with an open calendar. Your mind is wandering, and you're going with it. Or maybe you're stuck at work, in meetings, or emails, or worse, meetings about emails. And if that's the case, there's only one question. Why? Mobile One, for the love of driving. Visit loveofdriving.us/radio to learn more.
But yeah, then we have a montage of the gang researching, and they're getting sleepy, and Buffy actually falls asleep in the stacks, and she has quite the dream indeed.
Yeah, Buffy and Angel have the wettest of wet dreams.
Yes, they are dreaming. They are fucking hardcore, and it goes on for quite some time.
Yeah,
until Angel turns vampire face and bites Buffy.
And Buffy sees, and Buffy sees like those people that were casting the spell earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like because of course they're gonna watch.
Yeah.
They don't have eyes, but they're gonna
Why wouldn't you?
They're gonna watch this sex scene.
I mean, we're watching. But Buffy wakes up, she's like, oh, what the fuck? Angel wakes up and he's like, oh, what the fuck? And Jenny Calendar's there to tempt him again, be like, yeah, that's what you're destined for, dude. That's why we brought you back.
Yeah.
We brought you back to kill Buffy. And he's like, oh, okay, fine.
When she said that, I was like, that's very on the nose. But because, Jenny Calendar's playing evil.
Yeah, it's not really Jenny Calendar.
Yeah, but it's also like, and they also have different plots. We don't know exactly what they're planning.
Yeah.
But I will say Jenny Calendar, this is the second time we've seen her play like a villain.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good at it.
Jenny Calendar's great.
Yeah.
I wish she wasn't dead.
It's nice that they've been bringing people back, like the Master last episode.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those shows. Yeah, this is one of those shows where you can be like, let's just throw Jenny in a weird dream sequence, come back.
And nobody's ever really dead in the Buffyverse. So anyway, she wakes up And she goes to tell Giles, and Giles discovered something about the first, and they are the first evil, and the harbingers are able to bring back the first evil. Some kind of mumbo jumbo. I really was not clear on what was happening.
Yeah, whoever Jenny Candler's portraying as the first, and that's the first evil demon ever. I don't know why this one doesn't have hooves like the vampire did. But and then there's the bringers or the harbingers, and they can like make people see visions, and they make people do stuff, and yada 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 yada.
Yeah, but then Buffy's like, "Oh, I saw these guys in the dream that I just had. I fell asleep in the library."
Because the Watchers keep detailed illustrations.
Yeah.
Dude, they pull out a book and it's like a perfect picture.
Yeah. She's like, I've seen these guys. These people were in my dream. I just had the dream up there. And Giles was like, "Oh, you just had a dream? What else happened in the dream?" And Buffy's like, "You don't need to fucking worry about my dreams."
Let's not get bogged down in the details. She's all like sweaty.
But yeah, that's who has been haunting Angel, is the first / the bringers. So, and another great person that they bring back, Buffy and Xander decide to go to Willy's bar. We haven't seen Willy in forever.
There is a vampire bar operating in Sunnydale.
In the daylight.
Yes.
And so Buffy walks in and Willy's like, "Oh, the Slayer's here. What brings you here, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who slays vampires?" And 2 vampire-faced vampires look over at her, and they just get up and slowly walk away.
What is this? What is this? There's a vampire hangout?
And Buffy does nothing. She's like, "I'll worry about y'all later. I gotta worry about my boy Angel's crazy dreams."
So the person at the end of the bar that he's serving, is that a vampire or a person?
I think it's just a regular person that maybe is down.
Like,
or is a vampire that doesn't care that the Slayer's there.
It's,
you know?
And like, Willy, this is bad for business when you're giving information out to the Slayer at a vampire bar.
Right? Like, what kind of fucking business is this guy running?
It's amazing. I don't get it at all, but sure.
So Buffy and Xander go up and they're like, "What do you know about the first?" And Willow's like, "I don't know nothing." And then Xander's like, "You're about to know nothing when I beat your brains in." And he's like, "All right, I'll tell you something. All I know is that wherever they're underground." And Buffy's like, "Yeah, of course they're underground. You know, they're demons." And he's like, No, I mean, like, they operate underground, and anything that is above them, life can't grow. So there's going to be no life above where they are. And Buffy's like, "All right, cool." And then they walk away. And then Willy says to Xander, he's like, "Hey, kid, I want to let you know, that was some good intimidating." And Xander's like, "Really?" He's like, "Oh, no, yeah, I was intimidated." And Xander's like, "Thanks, man."
and then he stops him again and he says, "Hey, Merry Christmas."
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been set up that Xander needed that pat on the back to be intimidating.
No.
He's never met Xander. Like, they have no connection. Did you
think that he was like pulling Xander's leg when he says that?
Yeah. And then later he just says Merry Christmas. It's like this heartfelt, like, you could see the like da-na-na music come in. I'm like, wait, what? Is that his father? Like, it's so much. There's so much there that I don't understand. I like it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I'm always a fan of when Willy's around.
He's such a shyster. I love it.
Yeah. So they go outside, and they're like, "Well, I think it's time that we call it a day on the first bringer hunting. We all got to go home. It's time to deck the halls with boughs of holly." And then they make mention about like the sweltering summer heat that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Xander's wearing a long sleeve shirt with a shirt underneath of it, long jeans. Buffy's wearing like a dress with a cardigan over top of it. Like, what the fuck are you people talking about?
When they walk out of that bar, I just got weird like flashbacks of like when we would leave Whiskey Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
Early in the season, we'd watch football games right when like the time shift, and you'd leave the bar And it's like sometimes you leave a dark bar and it's daylight and you're just like, what is this? And that's what I got when they walked out of that. I was like, it is so bright. Also, this scene, I'm so confused by this scene.
Yeah, it made no sense. Like the whole vampires just like getting up and slowly, not worried, not running away.
No, not even that. I'm more confused by the scene when they walk outside of the bar and they have like a little moment out front. It's like, were we supposed to be like, this is Xander and Buffy getting back together? Like kind of like reforming a bond or whatever?
I think that's what it was.
All right. So this is the point where I'll bring up one of the biggest things that we haven't gotten yet. And I don't know if we're going to get it. Because we're 10 episodes into the season?
Yeah.
Okay. So end of last season, Willow told Xander to tell Buffy that she was casting a spell.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it clear that he was about to tell her and opted and chose not to.
Yes.
I thought that would lead to something.
It has led to nothing as of yet.
Yeah. I don't think it can lead to anything now. It's been
I don't think so either.
It's been like he's already like, they met, they talked, everyone's talked to Angel, they're all helping. Like, she can't even get mad if he goes, oh, I knew and I didn't tell you. It would have changed nothing.
Well, they did tell, Willow told Buffy that she was working on the spell. And I think Buffy was like, no, he changed and I killed him anyway.
Yeah,
so Buffy knew.
Yeah, she knew he had changed. So it's not even like Xander not saying it.
Like, was that the payoff?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be like her getting at least an episode of her being mad at him for not telling.
I thought that was going to lead to something where Xander's going to have to beg for forgiveness and accept that no one in this show ever apologizes for anything. The only apology I've ever heard in the show is this episode when Angel shows up and he's like, sorry to bother you. Like, he didn't apologize to Giles yet at all.
He didn't say, how are your balls doing?
Yeah, from the probable ball stuff that I was.
Sorry, I tortured you.
He just showed up looking mopey.
He showed up and was like, I've had 2 dreams and I don't know where to turn.
Yeah. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
But anyway. So now we get the scene of Oz going to Willow's place.
This is
for Christmas Eve.
This is a scene that you've wanted forever,
this
right?
This is such an uncomfortable, awkward scene. So he shows up and he's like, hey, what's up, Willow? I'm here. I'm ready to... I brought the videos. We're going to be watching videos. That was their plan. So he brought videos and he turns the corner and Willow is dressed in this red velvet dress that's very low cut. The fireplace is on. She's got a candle burning. She's like, oh, hey, what's up, Oz? And Oz is looking around like, what the hell is this? What's going on here? She's like, come on in, have a seat. He sits down. She puts on, his name Barry White?
It's Barry White.
Puts on Barry White, like classic.
Can't get enough of your love, babe.
Classic, like, to the point of being cliche, hacky, sex music.
Yeah, like at this point, then maybe it's still a little bit then, but
yeah, it'd be like if you put on Marvin Gaye, "What's Going On" or whatever that song is. It's like in the same ilk.
Yeah.
And Oz sits down and he's looking around like, so what's going on? And Willow's like, well, you know, you're here, I'm here. My parents aren't here. We're here alone. We're alone. Nothing is going to stop us from doing whatever we want. We're here alone. My parents aren't here. So we can do, that thing. And then Oz is all wide-eyed and he's like, and he stands up. He's like, I don't know. This is very cool. Then Willow stands up. She's like, I just wanted to let you know, we can do whatever we want. And then Oz is like, I think we need to sit back down. They sit back down, which I thought was very funny. They sit back down and Willow's like, look, I just wanted to let you know we've been through a lot and I'm ready. I want you to be my first. I want to be with you and I'm ready to get it on. And then Oz is like, that's awesome. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not ready for that yet. And Willow's like, what? Are you serious? Fucking loser? Like, she's not like that. She's like, are you serious? Like, is there something wrong? Like, is this your first time too? And he's like, no. Well, I mean, no. It's definitely not my first time. I mean, no.
I'm in a band. I'm the hottest band in Sunnydale, and I'm a werewolf. Like,
yeah. Oz gets around. Okay, I'm the wizard around these parts. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, I sniff my fair share of tail, if you know what I'm saying.
I've seen quite a few full moons, you know. But he's basically like, look, yeah, we don't need to do this today. We just got back together. I just caught you cheating on me. Let's take it a little slower. I don't want to do it because you feel like you need to prove something to me or that you trust me or something. I want us to do it when we feel like we both need to do it. And then Willow's like, okay. And then they start making out hardcore. Yeah. And at that point, I thought Oz was going to be like, you know what? Actually, let's do it.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, okay, I think it's fine. I said what I needed to say. And yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Whoever's doing the writing for Oz's stuff is like, they've nailed his character, man. Like, he's consistent in his like he's just really, like, he gets it. And because this could have come across like really like forced, where it's like, oh wow, we just don't want Willow to have sex this episode. But it's like, it makes sense. Like when he was like, I need some time away from you, I'm not gonna make you feel better. Like other episode, I'm like, yeah, that's just good.
Yeah,
good. Like he's a good character.
Yeah, and he, like you said, he is consistent because remember when they were like about to kiss in the car or something?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I don't want to do this right now. Like, this is not the time or place. When he said, like, I need some time to think about stuff. Mm-hmm. He's like consistent, good head on his shoulders, thinking through his decisions, not acting, thinking with his dick.
Yeah,
basically.
that's a good pull with the not kissing her in the car thing. Yeah, because it was the same type of situation. Where she was trying to make Xander jealous then.
Exactly. He's like, I don't want him to be doing it like this.
Yeah.
So good on Oz. Good character. Then Buffy and Joyce are setting up their house for Christmas, and they have a fireplace going, and Buffy once again makes mention, like, well, you got a fucking fireplace on. It's like record heat.
Hey, Willow had one too.
Saying this... They're both like wearing long sleeve shirts, I think. Wait, no. Buffy's not wearing one. Buffy's wearing a tank top.
Okay. Is she? I thought she was. Yeah. I'm not even gonna predict. I knew what clothes they were because that went horrible last episode.
Buffy, I think, is wearing a red like cami. And then Joyce says to Buffy, who's not looking at Joyce, and Joyce goes, "So." Angel on top again? And Buffy turns around. She's like, what? Because she just had that sex dream about Angel. And the mom's holding an angel and a star. And she's like, should we put the angel on top of the tree or the star on top of the tree? And Buffy's like, oh, Jesus. Star. Definitely the star on top this year.
I love that moment.
Yeah, it was great. And then we hear a knock at the door, and it's Faith. And Faith's like, it turns out that party wasn't as happening as we thought it was going to be, kid. And then Buffy's like, well, you know what? I'm happy you're here. And then she has 2 presents. She's like, I got you some presents, kid. Yeah, it's a bunch of crap, but you can have them. And Buffy's like, thank you. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to get your presents. And she goes upstairs and gives the presents to Joyce. And Joyce is like, oh, thank you so much. And she makes mention. She goes, it's a bunch of crap. It's a piece of crap anyway. Buffy goes upstairs to get Faith's presents, goes into her room, and who's in her room but this fucking haunted angel. He closes the door behind her, and Buffy's like,
horn dog angel.
Yeah, horny, haunted angel. Haunted by his own horniness.
Yeah.
Closes the door, and Buffy's like, Angel, hi? And Angel's like, you gotta get away from me. You gotta get away. You gotta go away from me. And Buffy's like, you came all the way to my house to tell me to not be around you? He's like, no, he keeps looking over at the bed.
Yeah, that camera panning over to the bed is so creepy.
Yeah. And he's looking at it. Buffy's like, I got a feeling I want to do something. And he's looking at the bed, and Buffy's like, dude, are you all right? What's going on with you? And he just goes, get out of my head, and jumps out the window.
I wish the window was closed, though.
Me too. I wish it was a glass shattered. Just another window that needs to be replaced in the Summers household.
Mom, I know what I want for Christmas. And they keep showing the shot of her neck, and like he wants to bite her too. And like I guess Jenny's behind him at one point, like, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
This is your destiny.
I love that on Christmas, it's the one time Buffy is not wearing her Jesus cross.
Right? He looked directly at her necklace, and it's like a flower or something. Yeah, he's like, all right, we're in the clear.
Yeah, I was like, wow. It's Jesus' birthday.
I know. Celebrate the dude. So he jumps out the window. Buffy goes running down the stairs. And now she's wearing a long sleeve black sweater. And in this record summer heat.
She's in all black at the end, right?
She has jeans on, I think.
Okay.
But she runs down the stairs. She's like, Faith, stay here with my mom. I just saw Angel. I need to go figure out what's going on. And Faith is like, I'm happy to play watchdog, but what the hell is going on here, dude? And Buffy's like, I'm going to Giles' apartment. Don't worry about it. Just make sure the Angel doesn't come back and hurt my mom. And Faith's like, all right. So Buffy...
So this is the thing. Like, Faith, your whole argument is that you don't trust Buffy with Angel, right?
Yes.
Isn't that the whole feud?
Yep.
And now she's like, oh yeah, Angel just broke into my house. And Faith should be like, told you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It seems like they just forgot that they had a feud, what the feud was about.
He broke into her house and then broke out of her house.
Then you had to tell Faith to watch your mom.
Did you notice that when he jumped out of the window, his feet and heels slammed on that fucking windows, dude?
Yeah.
They slammed. That stunt double was a mess the next day. It was brutal.
Yeah. I'm sure the stunt coordinator was like, when you dive out the window, you got to keep those legs straight.
Yeah.
Don't bend those knees.
Dude, they whammed right into that. I wonder how many times they did that and they're like, well, that's the best take that we got.
Yeah. He's like, you can only do it once after that.
Yeah. So Buffy goes to Giles's and she's like, Giles, Angel just showed up at my apartment and he's acting all weird. He's acting crazy. And Giles is like, look, dude, you're saying that Angel's acting crazy. If he lost his humanity, you might have to kill him again. And Buffy's like, I'm prepared to do what I must. No, you're not.
No. I was like, Giles, are you an idiot?
Yeah.
Like at this point, Giles should be like, I'm going to follow you from afar with the crossbow. And as soon as I get a shot, I'm taking it.
Yep.
You're going to be mad at me for a while, but some demon will come back. We'll fight it and we'll hug and make up.
Yeah.
Because that's how makeups work at the end of these episodes. So,
yeah.
Like, it's no way Buffy's going to do it.
No, there's absolutely no. She'll be like, no, but he's fine. I saw his dreams. He's just haunted by his history. Fucking God. So then we go, there's a scene of Angel being tormented and haunted by these visions of his past once again. And they're like, you were born to hurt and kill Buffy. And he's like, well, then I will die. I'll just kill myself. And they're like, you don't have the strength to kill yourself. He's like, I don't have to have strength. I just need to wait out until the sun comes out. Like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, isn't that the same thing as killing yourself? Like,
yeah,
it's not like,
yeah.
What did they think? He was going to shoot himself in the head or something? Like, I don't understand what he could do is just go over to Giles' place and just start running around until Giles shoots him in the chest with the crossbow.
Yeah.
Give Giles some satisfaction while you go out.
Yeah, I don't know. He deserves it.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's like, I'm going to stand in the sun. Like, isn't that how most vampires kill themselves?
Do vampires kill? Are there, like, extra emo vampires that are like, not meant for this world?
He talked a vampire into going into school and setting themselves on fire to send Buffy a message.
That is true. That is true.
that one got nothing out of it. Meet him at the cemetery. Ah!
It's so unnecessary.
It's a cool visual, but my God, who volunteers for that? They're like, I'm done being a vampire. I'll do it.
I forgot about that. It's so unnecessary.
That happened in the school. Everyone in the school should know.
Everyone saw that.
Everyone saw it.
You could have delivered that message and kept your hood on. Oh, God. So yeah, then Buffy's reading bullshit with Giles, and she basically figures out that the demons, the bringers, are below where she saw the dead Christmas trees. And I was like, this is the most shoehorned in plot. Why wouldn't if they're saying that there can't be life above where they are, why wouldn't they just be under like a parking lot? You'd never find them.
Or just in one of the 80 warehouses.
Yeah. You'd never find these people.
It's fine. The one thing I thought was a little weird, and I guess it still works, Christmas trees, it wasn't like the Christmas trees were like they were on stands. They weren't like growing out of the ground. But I guess anything above, it's not even above where they're doing the incantation, because everything would have died. But whatever. It gets us there. It's fine. Yeah.
So Buffy goes to the Christmas tree lot and she takes an axe and she's axing the ground. I was like, oh, why an axe? Shovel. But she axes the ground, it breaks. She goes down underneath the ground and discovers the bringer's lair.
I love that she jumped down there. No flashlight, no nothing. Just was like, there's a hole. I'm a slayer. I'm jumping in.
I'm a slayer with an axe.
Did she even take the axe with her?
She takes the axe with her because dude, this fucking pissed me off so much. She has an axe in her hands. She creeps up, finds where the bringers are. There's 3 of them. They're all face down doing their chanting and their prayer or whatever. And she goes, rather than attack them, she goes, I think that's enough chanting for this time. Or she says one of her quippy lines. Mm-hmm. Just fucking chop their heads off. You have an axe.
Yeah. And we've seen her chop heads off before, too.
Yes. And she gives them time to like get up and start running around and fighting back. And she legitimately hits one of these people with the axe, part of the axe. And it doesn't like chop their head off. It doesn't chop a limb off. It doesn't do anything. It's like she took a baseball bat to their stomach. They're like, ooh.
Yeah.
And she's fighting all these people. And they eventually like scatter.
And she uses the axe to like knock over the stuff on the table that they're chanting with.
Yeah. So pointless.
But she doesn't kill any of those people.
No, they just ran away because the vision of Jenny Calendar shows up.
Yeah, which is the first. The manifestation of the first.
And I did enjoy this part. So the vision of Jenny Calendar's like, you can't destroy me. You can never destroy me. I'm something beyond what you can even fathom and what you can even comprehend. I'm the first evil. I'm the manifestation of the first original sin. And then Buffy's like, are you just going to fucking talk all day, or can I just beat the shit out of you already?
He's like, I get it. You're evil.
Yeah.
You're an evil villain. Like, it's fine.
It's like, I get it. You're like, oh, what else? You're evil?
Yeah.
And then Jenny Calendar's like, you don't even know. That axe is not going to do anything to me. And she's like, oh, and what? Are you evil? And then
why did she throw the axe at her? I would have just thrown the axe at her.
I know. I would have done something.
It would have gone through her probably, but I would have still done it.
Well, then Jenny Calendar like contorts herself into some kind of weird thing and then transforms into this hideous, awful looking CGI bat demon looking thing that like shrieks in Buffy's face and then disappears.
It screams, "Dead by daylight."
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, you know what would have killed Angel? Not telling Buffy the plan.
But of course, she tells Buffy the plan that Angel's going to be dead by daylight. And then Buffy runs to the mansion where Angel has been staying. And she sees Angel. She runs up the stairs, sees Angel like just hanging out on the top of a hill.
That overlooks the city. It seems like.
is that like the top of this mansion? Is this mansion like built into a mountain or something?
Dude, it seems like it's far away from the city too.
It does.
Like Buffy, you had to drive there. Like, how is she getting around? Like they're looking at the whole town, it looks like.
Yeah. And Angel she catches up to Angel, who's just like standing there, and Buffy's like, Angel. And Angel's like, what are you doing here? Look at all these people. Like they don't even know that it's about to be daylight. It's about sunrise is a few minutes away.
We're talking about kids about the waking up and sneaking up to open their presents and stuff.
Oh, right. Anyway, it's like daylight's
it's like delicious kids.
Yeah. Sunlight's only a few minutes away, but I have to say it is pitch black out there.
Yes. And for it to be a few minutes away, it does not happen. Well, I guess the sun should still rise what happens later, but we learn that vampires can smell sunrise.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I'll buy it.
Hold on a second. When did Angel get turned?
What, into a vampire?
Yeah. Was that in the 1700s?
I think it was 1800s. Why?
Because doesn't he say that he's over 200 years old? The math doesn't add up on that. Wouldn't he be like 100 and something? It has to be in like the 1700s then.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe the 1700s.
Who knows? That's getting very...
Yeah.
I just realized that though. I was like, because earlier in the episode, it's Dublin in 1890. And that's 100 years before this. Oh, it said 38?
Maybe. I'm not even going to make a bet on that. I
thought it was 1893 for some reason. Whatever. Whatever. A bunch of bullshit. And Buffy's like, what are you doing, Angel? You don't need to do this. And he's like, I need to do it. I need to kill myself. And she's like, why? And he's like, because I want you. I want you more than anything that ever has. And I'm so weak. I'm a weak piece of shit. I was a drunken, whoring layabout even before I was a vampire. I killed all these people and I can't. I'm fucking terrible. And Buffy's like, no, dude, you're fine. The only thing that makes you weak is wanting to kill yourself. You got to be courageous to fight every day. It's like, fight every day, huh? And it's just fucking punches Buffy. He's like wailing on her.
They say something like we got to make amends to the people or something. Like if you kill yourself, you can't make amends.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Which, I mean, he's been alive for so long. He can't make amends to all
those people. all those people are dead for sure.
He's going to make amends to what? The study group, the Scooby Gang? That's about it.
The descendants of those people, maybe?
Yeah. He basically wiped out Jenny Calendar's whole tribe.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they just start hitting each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he knocks Buffy down, gets on top of her, and just starts shaking the shit out of her.
Yeah. And he's like, this is what I meant to do. I was born to do this. This is my destiny. I'm supposed to kill you. And the world doesn't want me alive. And then Buffy crying goes, but what about me? I want you alive and I love you more than anything. And at that moment, I was like, this is not a good relationship. This is abusive as fuck. Yeah, toxic as fuck.
I know how you feel because you did all those horrible things. All the horrible things you did to me. And I was also like, oh man.
I also forgot to bring up, there's another guy that is haunting Angel.
Yeah, in the suit, the business suit guy?
The suit guy. We don't see Angel actually like kill this guy, but this guy is lecturing Angel on like how he killed his kids and lined them up in some kind of distorted, brutal way. And he's like, the cops, when they came, they said that they never saw anything like it. The meticulousness of your killing and the display that you put on was like top-notch brutality.
Yeah.
Buffy's not experiencing any of that.
Well, no, what she did with Jenny Calendar. The Jenny Calendar.
Well, Giles experienced it.
Giles experienced it, but I'm sure he told
Yeah, that's
her.
True.
And she knows, and he told her what she did to Drusilla. And we've seen Drusilla.
Right.
And yeah, Jenny Calendar as the first, she's like, you were killing because you liked it. Like you were the most evil. Like you took so much pleasure in it.
Yeah, vampires were killing to feed. You were killing for sport.
Yeah. And they also say when he says he's going to go kill himself, he goes, "That wasn't the plan." And she goes, "But it'll do." So I don't know what their plan is.
What is the plan?
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like the plan was to kill the Slayer.
Yeah, now the plan seems like to kill Angel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the first is.
But anyway, the whole world wants me dead. But what about me? I love you so much more than anything in the entire world. I was like, this is bad.
I thought Angel was doing a noble thing by going up and setting himself on fire.
Same.
It's weird if you look at him as a person.
Yes.
But if you look at him as a vampire, that causes trouble.
Yeah, and it was having like this weird confliction. Is that a word? Conflicting feelings in his self about like, I need to kill the Slayer, but this is the person that I love, and I needed to kill myself before I do anything more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one bad dream away from like going back to doing crazy stuff.
So eventually he gets up off of Buffy, and then Buffy gives him a speech about how he's a coward if he kills himself. And he's like, "Don't worry, the sun will arrive soon enough and I'll be dead." And Buffy's like, "Well, if you're going to die, I'm not going to stick around to watch it."
There's a line in here that I thought that you would take some joy in, where Buffy wishes she wished him dead.
Yeah. Look, I'm not dealing with wishes anymore. I learned my lesson.
Episode 3 this season of What We Do in the Shadows deals with like some wishes and genie stuff that is really great.
Okay.
That I recommend.
I have to watch that show. I love that movie.
It's great. The show is amazing.
But anyway, so Buffy starts walking away. And despite literally the day before, the same day, that was record heat, it starts to snow. And Angel looks up. He's like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Buffy looks up. She's like, what's this? What's this? She's Jack Skellington all about, what's this? What's this? And at first it looks like it's just snowing on them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because they cut wide and you can see the edges of the frame. Remaster.
Yeah. Remaster.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the city and there's a TV on, and a TV weatherman is saying like, "Wow, despite all this record heat, it seems as though there's a bunch of snow happening here. And because it's snowing, the sun won't come out." What?
Did he say the sun won't come out?
He said it's blocking the sun. There's going to be no sunshine that day. What weather phenomenon is going on?
Yeah, I don't know if people in California don't know, but when it snows, it can still be sunny.
Yeah, it's constantly.
It's not like snow is not a darkness covering thunderstorm.
No,
usually.
But the sun is blocked out, so that prevents Angel from killing himself, and it also allows Angel and Buffy to walk through the city hand in hand in soap.
Here's my biggest issue with this. Their argument never settled whether or not he should kill himself.
Yep.
All it did was make it so that he can't physically kill himself this way this one morning.
Yep.
But his points she never debunked his points. They never came to each other's side. He never was like, "You're right, Buffy, I shouldn't do this, and I'm going to go in." They were just like, "Snow. Oh, we're good."
Here's my 2 issues with this. Number 1, it is very obviously soap on the ground as they're walking through the city.
That I let slide because it's like, what are you going to do?
That's it looks so It looks like spaghetti on the ground, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it could be potato flakes. I don't know. It's what it is.
And number 2, the ground needs to also be cold for snow to lay. And it was just record heat the day before. That snow would not be laying on the ground. It was like 7 inches of snow.
No.
There's no way.
You know what's also great? I feel like they're wearing coats and They're dressed like they were prepared for a snowstorm.
Yeah, dude. Well, Angel's always wearing a coat.
He's always wearing a coat. You know, when you're going to go burn yourself with the sun, you want to cover up most of your body anyway, right?
Where's Buffy with her fucking stupid bomb beanie?
They should have just done Tai Chi in the sun and he would have disappeared.
Oh, that would have been very beautiful. Like the end of, fuck. I don't want to spoil it. Never mind. I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay, don't spoil it.
But anyway, so Willow and Oz, there's a montage of Willow and Oz seeing the snow, and they're like, oh, snow.
They're lying in bed together.
Yep.
Fully clothed.
Sleepover.
Get out of bed and look out of the window, and they're like, whoa, snow.
Faith and Joyce see the snow, and they're like, whoa, snow. Faith would have definitely seen snow.
Yeah, Faith would have seen snow. Joyce would have been like, hey, my daughter stormed out on Christmas Eve to fight a dangerous vampire. But, ooh, snow.
Yep.
Joyce should be like, is this what happens when a Slayer dies? Like, she should be completely concerned the whole time.
Absolutely.
Like, there's no like, wow, snow. I guess I'll make pancakes for breakfast. Like, no.
Giles goes to the window. Oh, it's snowing. Isn't this interesting? This is interesting.
Like, is no one concerned about what Buffy's doing right now?
Xander's asleep in the woods.
Well, he said he sleeps outside of his house in his backyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And his sleeping bag and snow is hitting him in the face.
Which to me drove me crazy because I was like, vampires.
Yes.
You don't sleep outside because vampires.
What time is it that everyone is seeing all this? Like, is everyone just awake?
Yeah. It's like,
it's supposed to be almost sunrise, and sunrise, I would assume, is like, 5:30, 6 in the morning.
Does Oz spend Christmas with his parents?
It doesn't appear so.
I don't know about the Christmas Eve sleepover because I don't think Oz is Jewish. Is he supposed to be?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. What's his actual name?
His last name, you mean?
Like,
or the actor?
What's his? No. We all know that the actor's name is Seth Green. Daniel Osborne is his real name in the show. So I don't think he's Jewish.
But yeah, okay, yeah.
But what time is it? Like, why is everyone awake?
It's supposed to be like 6. It has to be like close to 6 a.m.
But they all see it, and then Buffy and Angel walk through the city hand in hand, seemingly having made up. And
for no reason. They just argued until snow came. Snow solved the problem.
That is a wrap on Amends.
I will say this. Angel is weak.
Mm-hmm.
Oz is strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oz is the MVP.
Yeah. Oz is like, oh yeah, no, this girl's coming on. I'm like, hey, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Angel gets like someone whispering, kill her or sleep with her. Do one of the two. He's like, I got to.
I'll do both. I'll do both. I'll kill her while I'm sleeping with her.
Yeah. It's like, geez, man. I think if next episode is Oz training Angel for self-control, that'd be amazing.
I mean, Angel does scream in Buffy's face that he is weak.
No, I'm saying like he knows he's weak.
Yeah.
And in the words of Spike, they're both love's bitch.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's it for Amends. You ready to make predictions for next week? You got any predictions on or last things to say about this episode?
No, I think we covered it.
All right. Well, sticking with the theme of this episode, the next episode is titled Gingerbread.
Interesting.
Is it a full-sized gingerbread man wreaking havoc on Sunnydale?
I know there's those bad B horror movies about like a gingerbread man killer thing. I don't know what those are. I've never seen one, but oh man, gingerbread. So we're past Christmas.
Well, this one aired December 15th. And what is interesting about this next episode is it aired January 12th. So it's past Christmas.
Yeah. It's like the Christmas. Yeah, this was definitely the finale, winter finale thing.
Yeah.
Winter break.
Gingerbread, though.
Gingerbread. Ah, man, I have no. Bake sale gone wrong.
Oh, bake sale gone wrong. I like it.
Yeah.
maybe a gingerbread house, and then the people in the gingerbread house come alive. I don't know. But we'll see when we review Gingerbread. Thank you for listening, everybody. Please subscribe and rate and review Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that jazz. Follow the Instagram at BoysWatchingBuffy if you want to write in an email, BoysWatchingBuffy@gmail.com. Hop on the Discord. That link is in the show notes. And yeah, stay tuned next time for when we talk about Gingerbread.
So, Angel's on top again?
Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.